कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति विकास स्वामिनिति नामिने नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जयो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So Hare Krishna Prabhus and Matajis, welcome to our weekly Bhagavad Gita discussion. So right now we are on our chapter 13 on Bhagavad Gita as it is. Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 13, verse number 29. Okay. So I will recite the verse, Sanskrit verse first. Samam pasyan hi sarvatra samavastitam ishvaram nahinasti atmanatmanam tato yati param gatim. Samam pasyan hi sarvatra samavastitam ishvaram nahinasti atmanatmanam tato yati param gatim. Samam pasyan hi sarvatra samavastitam ishvaram nahinasti atmanatmanam tato yati param gatim. Prabhus? Yes, you can try, Prabhu. Arishwan Prabhu.
Okay, Prabhu. Samam pashyan hi sarvatra samavashtitam ishvaram nahinasti atmanatmanam tato yati param gatim.
Yeah, nice. Anyone else? Prabhus? Vaishnava Prabhu?
Can I try, Prabhu?
Yeah.
Samam pasyam hi sarvatra samavastidam ishvaram nahinasti atmanam tato yati param gadim.
Yeah. Matajis?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, sir. I try.
Yeah.
Saman pasyahi sarvatram samavastitam ishvaram na isnasti atmana manam tato yati param gatim. Hare Krishna, sir.
Thank you. Samam, equally. Samam, அது தமிழ்லையும் இருக்கு. In Tamil, samam means equal. In Malay, Bahasa Melayu, sama. So, and originally it is coming from Sanskrit, samam. Pasyan means see, seeing, pasyan, he, certainly. Sarvatra means everywhere, sarvatra, everywhere. Samavastitam, equally situated. Asti, situated. Astitam, samavastitam, equally situated. Ishvara, what is the meaning of Ishvara? We have seen in the previous sloka, Parameshvara, Ishvara. What is the meaning of Ishvara?
Controller, Prabhu.
Yeah, Ishvara means, the supreme controller, Ishvara. So Param Ishvaram, the supreme, Param means supreme controller, Ishvara means controller, right? So the ultimate controller is Bhagavan, Param Ishvara, Govindam. There's the Brahma Samhita, there's very, the very nice verse. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha, right? Anadiradir Govinda. Hmm? So Ishvara Parama Krishna. So Parama means supreme. So Param Ishvaram. Ishvara means controller. Ishvara Parama. Parameshvara, same. So here in this context, controller also can be referring to the super soul, Paramatma. That's why it's called Paramatma, the super soul. Okay, so Ishvara. And even among us, we can refer ourselves also as Ishvara. Because we are also having the capability to control certain things in a minute level. So we are also minute Ishvara. Right? And Krishna is the Parameshvara. Right? So Ishvara means super soul. Paramatma. Na does not. In Sanskrit, when we have this word na means does not. Na. So hina means to degrade, hina. இந்த மலாயில் வந்து வார்த்தை இருக்குங்களா மலாயில் என்ன வரும் ஹீன இருக்குங்களா மங்ஹீன ஜங்கன்லா மங்ஹீன ஒரு ஆளை வந்து நம்ம ஹீன பண்ணக்கூடாது மட்டமாக பேசக்கூடாது மலாய் வார்த்தை இருக்கு பாருங்க அது என்ன வார்த்தை சன்ஸ்கிரிட் வார்த்தை ஹீனம். So we can see even this one verse we have find already how the Malay word are taken from Sanskrit, even Tamil, right? Atmana. Atmana means Atma means what? Atma also can refer to the soul, can also refer to the mind, can also refer to the super soul. In Sanskrit, one word can have many meanings. So in this context, Atmana means the mind. And the next verse, Atmana. You see, Atmana, Atmanam. Is Atmana here is referred to the soul. Right? So Atma can refer to the soul, mind, super soul. Right? So this is Sanskrit, versatile language. So Tata, then Yati, reaches. Param means what? Param means transcendental, supreme. Gati means destination. Param Gati. So here, translation, one who sees the super soul equally present everywhere, in every living being, does not degrade himself by his mind. Thus, he approaches the transcendental destination. Samam pasyan hi sarvatra. யார் ஒருத்தங்க வந்து சமமா பார்க்கறாளோ pasyan means to see everywhere. When we look into the equal vision, என்ன equal vision? Where in every living entity there is soul and super soul. Samam pasyani sarvatra samavisthitam ishwaram. Right? Whenever we see that in every living entity, in every living being, there is soul and super soul. So when you can have this vision, tato yati param gati, இந்த மாதிரி விஷன் வச்சிருந்தா கிருஷ்ணன் என்ன சொல்றாரு? What does not degrade himself by his mind, na heenasti atmanatmanam, na heenasti. When we have this vision, our mind doesn't get degraded. We are properly situated. So in this way, one can reach the param gati, transcendental destination. This is the meaning here. Okay. So let's see the purport. Very short purport. Okay. Anyone want to read? Arishwan Prabhu? Yeah. Yeah.
The living entity, by accepting his material existence, has become situated differently than in his spiritual existence. But if one understands that the Supreme is situated in his Paramatma manifestation everywhere, that is, if one can see the presence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in every living thing, he does not degrade himself by a destructive mentality. And he therefore gradually advances to the spiritual world. The mind is generally addicted to sense-gratifying processes, but the mind turns to the super soul and one becomes advanced in spiritual understanding.
So very short purport. I think we can also read another shloka. Okay, then we can discuss. Okay, so I think it is related. Okay, so we have finished the purport of 29. Now let's look into 30. प्रकृतैव च कर्माणि क्रियमा क्रियमाणानि सर्वशा या पश्यति तथात्मानम् अकर्तारं स पश्यति प्रकृतैव च कर्माणि क्रियमाणानि सर्वशा या पश्यति तथात्मानम् अकर्तारं स पश्यति. Prabhu, you can try.
Me, Prabhu.
Yeah, you can try.
प्रकृत्यैव च कर्माणि क्रियमाणानि सर्वशा या पश्यति तदात्मानम् अकर्तारं स पश्यति.
Yeah, nice. Mataji, anyone want to try? Shloka number 30.
Try, sir.
Yeah.
या च कर्माणि क्रियमाणि सर्वस्य यत् पश्यन्ति तथा आत्माना अकृतरा सा पश्यति. Hare Krishna, sir.
Thank you. So, some of the words are repetitive here. Like pashyati. Pashyati means what? To see. Right? So, prakritya, by material nature. Prakritya. Prakriti means material nature. Eva, certainly. Sha, also. Karmani, activities. Kriyamanani, being performed. Kriya. Kriya means, what's the meaning of Kriya? Kriya means action. Kriya, to do. So, Kriyamanani, to being performed. Sarvasha, in all respect. Yeah, anyone who. Pasyati, to see. Tata, also. Atmanam, himself. Akartaram, the non-doer. Kartaram is the doer. Karta means doer. Dharma karta, solrala, the doer. The one who does dharma, dharma karta. So, akarta means the one is not doing, the non-doer. Okay, so sa, he, pasyati, sees perfectly. Here, translation. One who can see that all living entities are performed by the body, who is created of material nature and sees that the self does nothing, actually sees. Okay, so let us try to understand it again. One who can see that all activities are performed by the body, okay, which is created of material nature and sees that the self does nothing, actually sees. Interesting. So how we understand? In previously what we understand, whenever a person sees everything in relationship with Paramatma, he actually sees things. And here, this shloka, Krishna is telling that when you understand that all the activities are performed by the body, which is created by the material nature, and that sees that the self does nothing, actually sees. Okay, let us try to understand this. Okay, let's see the purport first. Okay, you can read the purport, Prabhu. Purport padinga.
Okay, Prabhu. This body is made by material nature under the direction of the Super Soul. And whatever activities are going on in respect to one's body are not his doing. Whatever one is supposed to do, either for happiness or for distress, one is forced to do because of his bodily constitution. The self, however, is outside all these bodily activities. This body is given according to one's past desire. To fulfill desire, one is given the body, with which he acts accordingly. Practically speaking, the body is a machine designed by the Supreme Lord to fulfill desires. Because of desires, one is put into difficult circumstances to suffer or to enjoy. This transcendental vision of the living entity, when developed, makes one separate from bodily activities. One who has such a vision is an actual seer.
Right. So thank you. So we have recited two shlokas today. So let's see the first one. You see here, as we see, Krishna have explained the proper vision of a devotee. So, what is the proper vision of a devotee? That first we must understand that the first principle in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, what Krishna is teaching to Arjuna, the very beginning, the first lesson. What is the knowledge Krishna is teaching to Arjuna? What knowledge, Prabhu?
Knowledge about super soul.
Knowledge about soul. Right?
Soul.
முதல்ல கிருஷ்ணர் வந்து in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, observing, first is the observation in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Whatever is happening, Arjuna is describing, the setting the scene. We have seen how the Pandavas, the Kauravas, they assembled, they are ready to fight, and Krishna being the charioteer of Arjuna, bringing down the chariot in the middle of the battlefield, and Arjuna is looking at the other side, and at one time he got emotional, looking at all his relatives, all his grandfather, guru, all his cousins. Everyone is ready to fight, everyone is engaged, holding a sword, shield, armor, fully equipped. So Arjuna, when seeing this situation, at one point he became depressed. Depression is real. So, and this depression we can see 5,000 years ago exhibited by Arjuna. So what is this depression? When you study the chapter 1, we can understand what is a symptom. There is actually a clinical symptom exhibited by Arjuna, where doctors, they call it clinical symptom. Clinical means what we observe from our eyes. So such symptoms have been manifested by Arjuna. In a symptom, can anyone tell me the symptoms exhibited by Arjuna? Anyone remembers?
Confused.
The very first symptom is when Arjuna looked into the situation, he was shaking,
Yeah, shaking.
he was trembling, and the Gandiva bow is slipping down from his arm, from his hand. Why slipping down? Because he's sweating. His parasympathetic nervous system is activated. So all these things are there, sympathetic, parasympathetic, and he's sweating and he's becoming trembling, shaking. His voice is choking, he's tearing, his lips are getting dry. So when anyone walk into a clinic today with such symptom, the doctor will diagnose you as anxiety disorder or most likely a depression. You are suffering from stress, anxiety and depression. We have this, whatever symptom manifested by Arjuna is exactly here in the guideline of diagnosing the mental disorders like anxiety, depression. It is there. We call it DASS, DASS 21. This is a questionnaire. They will ask you whether you have dry lips, whether you have sweating palms, whether you are getting nervous, whether you are having the suicidal thoughts. And amazingly, all these symptoms are present in Arjuna. At one point, Arjuna says, let me die. I don't mind dying, but let them live. Let me die is okay. Let me 1% die. Suicidal. So this is all actually the symptom of depression. Arjuna, he doesn't want to follow the duty of Kshatriya, to fight. So this is chapter 1, So chapter 1 begin in a battlefield, in a very tense situation. Arjuna is depressed, and when we correlate clinically, it is even doctors right now, they are telling this is a symptom of depression. And we can see that in Bhagavad Gita chapter 1. So this is nothing new. Point enana, depression, anxiety, stress, suffering, all this is nothing new to us. The moment we enter the material universe, it is all there. So, dukkhalayam ashashvatam. This material universe is called Dukkha-alayam. Dukkha-alayam means what? The house of miseries, the place of miseries, Dukkha. Alayam, yes, Dukkha-alayam, Asashvatam. It is full of problems, troubles. So that is the first lesson we can see in chapter 1. Arjuna is trying to, he's already become depressed, and suddenly he says he doesn't want to fight. And what else? And then he said, okay, let me renounce everything. Let me go and take sannyas. Let me renounce. I don't want to fight. Let me, even I will beg for my life. It's okay, let me do that. But I don't want to kill them. They are all my relatives. They are all my friends. They are all my family. So, and then in chapter 2, what happened? In chapter 2, Krishna actually criticized Arjuna. Immediately, Krishna says, Kutastva kasmalamidam. Kutashva kasmalamidam. அப்படின்னு கிருஷ்ணா சொல்றாரு. What is this Kutashva kasmalamidam? So, Sri Bhagavan uvacha Kutashva kasmalamidam. Anarya justam asvargyam. And then Krishna is calling Arjuna Anarya. Anarya means what? Uncivilized. Anarya. Arya means civilized. So Krishna is telling Arjuna, you are uncivilized, barbarian. This is what Krishna is telling. You are rascal. Anarya justam asvargyam. You will go to hell. Asvargyam means you cannot go even attain the heavenly plane. Asvargyam. And then Kutastva Kashmalamidam. Kutastva Kashmalamidam is what? Krishna is beginning, the very first shloka is Krishna started to speak in chapter 2. When the moment Krishna opened his mouth, Krishna is telling, what nonsense? How come Arjuna, you are uttering such garbage nonsense from your mouth? It doesn't befit you as a Kshatriya, as a civilized person. இதுதான் கிருஷ்ணர் மாதிரி சொல்றாரு. குதாஸ்துவ கஷ்மலமிதம். கசுமாலம் தெரியுமா? கசுமாலம் நம்ம மெட்ராஸ் உடைய பாஷையில் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா the local language of Madras in India. கேள்விப்பட்டிருக்கீங்களா? கசுமாலம் is a Sanskrit word. Kasmalam is Sanskrit word. That is the exact word Krishna is using to Arjuna. Kasmalam. That means another. You're acting like a garbage. You're acting like a nonsense. Doesn't befit a civilized man, civilized person. That is how Bhagavad Gita begins. That's how Krishna is beginning his word. So Krishna didn't say that, oh Arjuna, don't worry. Krishna doesn't speak any so-called motivational talk. Like now we are very much interested in so-called motivational talk. Daily we need motivation. A good morning message, a motivational to fire up our spirit daily. You are very powerful. You are very capable. No one can beat you. Your life, your rule. All this bogus motivation. Krishna didn't begin that. Didn't speak that to Arjuna. Immediately Krishna says, you are rascal, you are nonsense. Give up all your bogus understanding. And now you surrender unto me. In chapter 2 itself, Arjuna surrendered to Krishna. புரியுதுங்களா? In Sishyashteham sadimam tvam prappanam. Arjuna is telling to Krishna, Sishyashteham sadimam tvam prappanam. From this moment, I am your Shishya, I am your disciple. Sishyashteham sadimam tvam prappanam. அப்படின்னா என்னது? From this moment, I am not your friend. We are not friends. Because initially, they are friends. So now, Arjuna is telling, Arjuna, Krishna, we are not friends. Because when we are friends, then you cannot instruct me properly. So forget about the friendship. Now I am your Sisya. And Krishna is a charioteer. Krishna is becoming a driver. But at the same time, Arjuna is telling now, you are my supreme, you are my superior. I surrender unto you. I am confused. Please guide me. Please tell me what shall I do now. And then Bhagavad Gita continues, chapter 2 in the middle. Krishna started to speak about Atmajnana, right? So you see, very important. This is the how. The very basics of Bhagavad Gita is Atma. Atma means what? Atma means soul. We are Atma. All of us are living being, living individual. We are all individual soul. This is the first lesson. Right? So, dehinosmin yata dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara tata dehantara praptir dhirastatra namuyyate. Krishna has started to instruct about the changes of the body. Our bodies are always changing. Dehinosmin yata dehe. Dehe means body. Right? So, our bodies keep changing. Kaumaram yauvanam jara. At one point we are very small, newborn. Then we become 5 years old. Then suddenly primary school, secondary school. Body changes. Kaumaram yauvanam, become youth. Very energetic, very strengthful. We like to do whatever we want in the youth. We won't listen to anyone. So Kaumara yauvanam, after that jara, old age. Then slowly we started to get old, white hair, wrinkles. Then we started to apply dye, brown color, black color, to avoid the sign of aging, right? But you cannot go against the law of nature. You can try to superficially apply some dye, some facial cream, some injection, some Botox injection, some skin care products, but ultimately the body will change. Kaumaram yauvanam jara. At one point you need the help of another people to help you. You cannot walk properly. You lost your balance. You lost your sense. You lost your everything. You lost your memory, dementia. Then you need the help of other people to help, to feed you, to bath you, to bring you to toilet. Then you will be taking pampers, putting pampers. Then slowly your family will be having problem to take care of you. Then slowly what happened? You cannot do anything on yourself. You need someone to feed you. You need someone to urine, pass stool. And ultimately you will pass the body. So this is what Krishna is telling in chapter 2. Kaumaram yauvanam jara tata dehantara praptir. Then after that what happened? The particular soul will leave the body and take another body. So what is the changing factor here? The body is changing. What is the constant factor here? Soul. Soul is not changing. Right? The soul is not changing. The changing is body. So that is very clearly explained in chapter 2:13. And Krishna is telling, so dehantara prap tata dhiras tatra namoyate. So such a properly situated person, a self-realized person, he won't be confused by all these changes. He remains steady. Dhira. Dhira means what? Dhira means a sober person, self-realized person, Krishna conscious person. So then that's how it continues, Bhagavad Gita. Then Krishna is describing about the nature of Atma. Atma cannot be killed, cannot be cut, cannot be wetted, cannot be heated, cannot be separated. So Atma is eternal. The bodies are changing. This is how we learn at the beginning of Bhagavad Gita. Atma jnana, very important. Atma jnana. Right? Then what happened? Then we get to know that actually there is also another bird. Shvetashvatara Upanishad. When we look into Shvetashvatara Upanishad, Prabhupada will speak in the purport of chapter 2. How the body is changing and the soul will be situated inside the body, and there is another soul who will be accompanying the soul. Another soul who will be accompanying the conditioned soul. Who is that another soul? That is the Paramatma, super soul. So one bird is sitting on that branch of the tree and eating the fruits, and another bird is sitting above on the same tree and watching at another bird, witnessing everything. So this is the Paramatma. He is witnessing everything, whatever we are doing, whatever we are thinking, whatever we are willing, whatever we are desiring. And Paramatma is waiting for us actually, when this bird will look at me, so that I can guide him accordingly. So Krishna is always anxious. Krishna is always waiting to help us, to guide us, because he is situated inside us. But we must show our effort. We must show our effort. Paramatma, right? So Prabhu have asked you, can I explain more about Paramana meaning for? Yeah, actually Prabhu, this is called Paramatma. Atma means what? Atma means soul. The Atma. All the individual living beings are soul, living entities, right? So this is the example, body, right? So this body is useless without soul, because soul is the real generating factor, the life force. Okay, right? So, and then there's another living entity inside our body, inside us, which is called super soul. Soul, super soul. Atma, Paramatma. Parama means super. So Paramatma is, who is Paramatma? Paramatma is actually Krishna. Is actually the expansion of Krishna. So in this way, according to Bhagavad Gita, all the living entity, they have soul, and all inside all the living entity, they are also Paramatma, super soul. This is the basics. Okay, he is watching, he is witnessing everything. So the moment you decided to take up Krishna consciousness, the moment you decided to come here and listen about Bhagavad Gita, the moment you come here and decided to perform some devotional service, Krishna will guide you. Provided you must ready to help yourself. You must put effort and Krishna will reciprocate. This is the point. Right? So it's not that you wait for God to guide you, Krishna to guide you, and you don't do anything. You don't do any action. Useless. Right? So first of all, we must have that willingness. We must have that desire. Right? That is the key. So that is meaning of super soul or Paramatma. Okay? So yes. So this is the fundamental knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, that we are not this body. We are something beyond the body. So in this shloka, let's go back to this shloka. So now Krishna is teaching Arjuna here that when we see every living entity in relation to super soul, that means when we see a dog, a cat, a cow, an elephant, a dog eater, or anyone, we must always see in the vision that they are also an individual soul, and there is always Paramatma accompanying them. So in this way, Krishna says this is the best vision. Okay, but why? The next question is why? What is the benefit of seeing things in this vision? Why Krishna is instructing so? This is what we must ask. Why Krishna is telling here, by looking into this vision, he approaches the transcendental destination. Why? Can anyone answer why? Why Krishna is putting a word? He does not degrade himself by his mind, by looking into this vision, where he sees everything equally, and every living entity where super soul is present within him. Why Krishna is telling like that? How is that beneficial to us? How is that?
Maybe Prabhu, here they are indicating, Krishna is indicating that you are seeing it with knowledge, not influenced by illusion. Can I say that way, Prabhu?
Okay, so anything else? Okay, you must see with knowledge. Okay, so what is knowledge? To understand that Krishna is everywhere. That is okay. But anything else we can understand from here. What is the benefit of seeing things in relationship with Krishna? In
Equal
relationship
vision.
with soul?
Equal vision.
Yes. But what is the benefit, Prabhu? Why we have to see with equal vision?
That means the mind is a friend of yours
Hmm.
and it upgrades you or degrades you, Prabhu. The mind can be a degrading factor, your enemy, as well as upgrading factor.
Okay, that is all right. That is good. But the
You
point is,
become a Pandita, one person who sees with equal vision. You only see Krishna, and when you see a body, you don't see the difference of the body.
Pandita Samadarshanaha. Krishna says that.
Yeah.
A learned person sees things equally. So, what is the meaning of equal vision? So, we really need to understand here. The meaning of equal vision is even though there are varieties of body, there are varieties of living entity, there are varieties of Varna, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, but we also must understand that the super soul is present within them. So they are also part and parcel of Krishna. This is what we must understand. Now, why we are looking at this vision? To understand that all the living entities are part and parcel of Krishna. Right? Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Mama eva amso jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatanaha. Mama eva amsa. So Krishna is telling all the souls are my amsa. All the living entities are my amsa. Amsa means what? They are all my part and parcel. And Krishna says, Aham bija pradapita. I am the seed giving father. Krishna says he is the father for all living entities. He is the seed giving father. Right? So the point here is when we see things in relationship with super soul, then we can understand that all living entity actually is a servant of Krishna. This is the first thing we should understand. And the second thing we should understand is that all of them are suffering right now with different bodies because of their own karma. This is the second thing we should understand. Right? This is the meaning of equal vision. Equal vision means not blindly thinking that everything is equal absolutely. In the spiritual platform, we are all same in equal because everything is an individual soul. Soul is spiritual. But in a material platform, we are given different body. So you cannot be equating a dog and a man. You cannot be inviting a dog into your altar, isn't it? Because it is contamination. Isn't it? You cannot be inviting a person who never take his bath into the temple because they must have proper cleanliness. Isn't it? So the point here is the equality comes when we understand that everyone is spirit soul, servant of Krishna. But at the same time, you must also understand they are given different bodies according to their own karma and they have to follow that. Okay, and number 3, when we see things as everyone is related to Krishna, what we must do? We must preach them. We must give them Krishna consciousness. This is the equal vision. Krishna is speaking right now. So whenever you see someone who is suffering, he doesn't know what will happen after that. He doesn't know what is the purpose of life. So a really compassionate soul, he will preach about this knowledge, about Atmajnana, about Bhagavad Gita. So this is actually the equal vision. So you must not get confused, by understanding this statement. Oh, then there's everyone is equal and we should not discriminate anything. Man and woman are equal. No. And I am equal with dog. No. You see, they are always a different in perspective of body. Materially, the dog body, human body, different. Male body, female body, different. You must understand this. That is why we have Varnashrama Dharma. That is why we have different duties. The duties of man, the duties of woman are different. The duties of Brahmana, Kshatriya are different. Okay? So we must not blindly think that, okay, we have to neglect all these things and think everything equally. No. This is wrong. That's why you must understand very carefully what is the meaning here Krishna is explaining. What is the purport? Right? So the real meaning here is, the real equality is, we are equal in the sense of all of us are part and parcel of Krishna. But in order to progress in Krishna consciousness, we have to follow our dharma. If you are having a woman body, you have to follow the woman dharma, Stri dharma. If you are having a man body, and if you are Brahmana, you have to follow your Brahmana dharma. If you are Shudra, you have to follow your Shudra dharma. Is that clear? So that is why Krishna is telling here, when we have this vision, where we see things as it is, in relationship with Krishna, as everyone is a servant of God, Krishna, then he approaches the transcendental destination. That is how you can go to Param Gatim. Because when we see in this vision, we will preach about Krishna. We will speak about Krishna. In this way, we will achieve the greatest destination, Param Gatim. Clear? So this is the meaning. So that is why here in the next verse, Krishna is explaining that, you see, very interesting verse here. One who can seize that all activities are performed by the body, which is created of material nature, and sees that the self does nothing. Okay. Now, maybe you can put a counter question here. What is the counter question? So, are we not responsible for our action? You see, Krishna is putting a word here that the self does nothing. Right? Isn't it? Krishna is telling you the self does nothing. Everything is done by the body in relationship with the material nature. Isn't it? Agree with me? But now I can raise a question right now. Because we are responsible for our action. It is not that everything is done without our will, our desire, right? So how to understand these things? So yeah, very carefully you have to understand this statement also. That's why Prabhupada is explaining here. Right? You see, very important key point here. The body is made by the material nature under the direction of super soul. And whatever activities are going on in respect to one's body are not his doing. What is the meaning not his doing? We'll look into that. Okay? Let us finish. So whatever one is supposed to do, either for happiness or for distress, one is forced to do because of bodily constitution. The self, however, is outside of all these bodily activities. The body is given according to one's past desire. Note this point. The body is given according to what? One's past desire. To fulfill desire, one is given the body which he acts accordingly. So practically speaking, the body is a mission designed by the Supreme Lord to fulfill desire. So because of desire, one is put into the difficult circumstances to suffer or enjoy. So when transcendental vision of the living entity, when developed, makes one separate from the bodily activities, one who has such vision is actually a seer. So what is the meaning here? The meaning here is, we have to understand that we are spirit soul. In our constitutional position, we are actually eternal, full of bliss, full of knowledge. This is our real position. We got nothing to do with the material nature. We got nothing to do. But the problem is when, because of our desire to enjoy, our desire for greedy lust, we want to enjoy, we want to be that, be this. So in that way, our desire will create a body, right? So whatever body we are having right now is actually our past desire. So that is why we are given such a body, such a consciousness, such a mind, so that you can actually continue to fulfill your nonsense. And same time you are given a minute independence to understand things as it is and go back to get out from this bodily understanding. So this is the understanding. Clear? So basically, this is why Krishna is telling here, the body is created under the material nature. Correct? So how the body is created? By our desire, and our desire, according to our desire, the material nature which is controlled by Krishna. So Krishna will give us a particular body. For example, so we can have a person who likes to eat meat. He enjoys meat, eating meat. Right? So Krishna, he says, all right, if you like to eat meat, then why not you take a tiger body or crocodile body so that you can enjoy meat eating. Right? Why you want to waste this human body? Because human bodies are not meant to eat meat. Simply sense gratification. No. Right? We don't need to put tomato sauce, ketchup, marinate and eat meat. We can eat meat raw. Have you seen the tiger? How the tiger come and grab the food, the meat? The tiger can consume the meat just like that, raw. No need ketchup, no need marination, no need barbecue, no need panggang, right? So this is what the law of nature. According to your desire, your next birth, you will get a body accordingly. So if someone who doesn't have any discrimination on eating habits, they want to eat everything, then you take the body of pig. The pig, no discrimination. It will eat stool, it will eat garbage, it will eat everything. Right? So this is the meaning, example I am giving. So whatever we desire, whatever our activity right now, whatever our karma means activity. So that will decide your next body. So if you are not interested in listening to Bhagavad Gita, if you are not interested to follow the teaching of Bhagavad Gita, the 4 regulative principles, no meat eating, no illicit sex, no intoxication, no gambling, then Krishna says, fine, you can become an animal. Next life. Very, very fair and square, right? It's very nice, right? Krishna is very merciful. Because whatever we want, Krishna is fulfilling. And in order to fulfill our desire, we need a proper body. So that is why we are having a different bodies. 8.4 million body. According to Shastra, we have 8.4 million types of body, species. Okay? So this is the meaning here. So the meaning here is, so when we understand that whatever we are doing right now is simply because of the interaction between the body and material nature, when we understand this and we follow the instruction of Krishna, then we can spiritualize our body. Then we are not bound to the reaction. Then actually we don't have any sin. We don't have any karma, akarma. Everything will become spiritualized. Everything will become Krishna conscious. So in that way, that's the meaning here. That sees that the self does nothing. Actually sees. So basically, the self got nothing to do with the material nature. When we understand that our constitutional position is to serve Krishna, and automatically the body is spiritualized. When we use our body, our mind, our tongue, our senses to serve Krishna, hear about Krishna, listen about Krishna, then everything is spiritualized. So everything is spiritual. In that way, that is called bhakti. That is called Krishna consciousness. So in this way, we can escape these changes of body. And we can go back to Godhead. This is the whole philosophy. Simple. We don't want to get body. We don't want to repetitively come. Birth, death, old age, disease. Janma, mrityur, jara, vyadi. Cycle. We don't want. Right? So that is what Krishna is telling here. So by looking into the equal vision means that you seize everywhere, part and parcel of Krishna. You preach everywhere. You preach to everyone. Preaching. Very important. When we speak about equal vision, that means preaching. Because if you really see things equally, you would like to preach to them because you want them to know the real knowledge. Who is our real Father, right? This is real vision. Yeah. So not that equality means that everyone is equal. No. We are equal in everyone. Equal means what? We are all equally servant of God. This is equality. Right? But right now, we have different body. So we have to follow the nature of our body. Agree with me? So if someone is a Brahmana or someone is a Kshatriya, we have to follow the Dharma. If someone is a woman, you have to follow the woman Dharma. Woman means they must get married. Woman means they must serve the husband. In that way they serve Krishna because the husband will be serving Krishna. This is Dharma. Not that you skip all these things and say, I am independent, I am equal to everyone, I am equal to men. And Krishna says everyone is equal. And I don't need anyone. So this is ignorance. Right? So you must be carefully understanding the, what Krishna is establishing here. Right? So this is the meaning of the Pandita Samadarshanaha, as Prabhu said. Pandita Samadarshana. There's a very, very important verse also. It is in chapter 5. We can go through that. Because many people will misinterpret such verses. Pandita Samadarshanaha. So, enna number Prabhu? Pandita Samadarshanaha is chapter 5, 29. Yes. No. Let me see. Pandita Samadarshanaha. Yeah, 5:18. Okay. So let's see. It's very related to our verse also. Vidya vinaya sampanne brahmane gavihastini sunichaiva swapakecha pandita samadarshanaha. Right. So please read the translation, Prabhu. Harishwan Prabhu.
The humble sages, by the virtue of true knowledge, see with equal vision a learned and gentle Brahmana, a cow, an elephant, a dog, and a dog eater podcast.
Yeah. So same thing as I explained just now. A person who is fully situated in knowledge, Vidya means knowledge. Vidya means knowledge. So a knowledgeable person, a Krishna conscious person, a devotee, he sees everything equally, even a learned person, a Brahmana, a cow, Gavi, an elephant, a dog and dog eater equally. Right? So now, equally means that not materially equal. You must understand that. Materially they are different. Cow, a dog and elephant is different. You cannot be taking a dog and putting on your bed and sleeping with the dog. That is contamination. You cannot bring the dog inside a temple, or you cannot bring the dog inside a deity and offer bhoga to Bhagavan with the dog. It is prohibited. Right? So the meaning here is a knowledgeable person will see that even a cow, an elephant, a dog, they are all a living entity. They are all a living soul. They are spirit soul. They see the spiritual spark, spirit soul. And they see Paramatma within them. All these animals, cows, insects, they are also accompanied by Paramatma. They are all servant of Krishna also. You must understand this. Even a cow, a dog, they are servant of Krishna. But due to their karma, their sinful activity, they are given such a body. That is understanding. So equally means how? Everyone is servant of Krishna. But at the same time, you must not forget your discrimination. Okay? Because otherwise, everything is same. You go and pet a tiger will bite you. You go and pet a crocodile, Krishna says everything is same. So I want to go and be with crocodile, gone. So that is foolishness. Right? Because everyone have their dharma. The tiger have their dharma. The snake have their dharma. Snake will bite you. pato ula pato, snake bites. Snake will bite you, and the venomous, the poison will go into your body. You're gone. So the thing is, we have to see all these things equally in the sense of spirit, soul, and Paramatma. And from whatever situation we are, we should preach to the living entity. So if you see a dog, what you can do? You can give him some prasadam. If you see a dog eater, you can preach to him about Krishna, chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Right? If you see a cow, you can pay obeisances. Cow is mother, and you can use the cow's milk, cow's ghee in the service of Krishna. Right? So in this way, we can associate, we can incorporate everyone in the service of Krishna. This is intelligent. This is the equal vision. Right? So we must understand that everything, Krishna is there, Paramatma is situated. This is the meaning of equal vision. Right? Not that you lost your sense of judgment, and simply you think that materially everything is equal. No, materially we are different. The different bodies are there. That also must be acknowledged. So when Krishna say equal vision means, this is the equal vision. Paramatma, Atma, and we are all servant of Krishna. This is the equality we have, all we share among all living entity. Okay? Is that clear? Or am I confusing? Is that clear?
Very clear.
Okay, thank you. So, all these verses are most misinterpreted verses, especially by the feminist, by the people who says that, we don't need any discrimination between man and woman. Krishna says everyone is equal. No, Krishna doesn't say everyone is equal. Krishna says everyone is spirit, soul, and everyone is servant of God. But when we are coming in contact with material nature, we are different in a way. Even we need to see our dharma. So that is why, in related to Rasan Prabhu's question, how about those days human treat an animal as this pet or partner? Yes. So that is why we should have compassion. You know what compassion? Because they are also living entity. They are also part and parcel of Krishna. Agree? So when you see living entity, even a chicken, even a fish as a part and parcel of Krishna, then we got no rights. We got no rights to kill and eat those meat. Okay. So that is why when we have this vision, we become compassionate. That is why the first principle is no meat eating. In order to understand Krishna consciousness, you must give up meat. Right? Yeah. Pet. What is pet? Prabhu is asking a question about pet. P-E-T. Pet. Keeping pet. What is it, keeping pet? It is a Western understanding. It's a Western idea of servicing dog and worshipping dog. So Prabhupada says we don't worship dog or service dog. We worship God. G-O-D, not D-O-G. Right? Now we are heading to the civilization of dog civilization. So sleeping with dog, waking up with dog, morning walk with dog, and then the dog will poop and you will take the poop, and now you become like a dog. And when you will give up your body, you will become a dog. So Prabhupada says we are not dog civilization, we are G-O-D. We serve God, we don't serve dog. Right? So there is no need to keep any pet, because all the living entities have their own dharma, their own nature. They can live on their own. They don't need our assistance. Right? I'm speaking about the, people like to keep dog, people like to keep cat. All these things are not clean. And we are always becoming pet conscious, dog conscious, fish conscious. Some people like to keep fish in the aquarium. It is a sin, because the fish are supposed to be in a very independent area, natural environment, in the water, in the pond, in the sea. So when you go and block and put the fish in a four-walled glass aquarium, definitely the fish is cursing you, and your life won't be good. You're getting heavy karma for that. Right? So same, keeping dog, keeping cat, all these things are actually wasting of time. Instead of that, We should worship God. We should inquire higher things. We should learn how to cook for Krishna. We should know how to be clean, eat clean, sleep properly, chant Hare Krishna. This is our life. Right? So this is the meaning. So by understanding this principle, we give up meat eating. We become compassionate to all the animals. And we follow the instruction of Krishna by offering only Satvika Ahara. What is Satvika Ahara? Plant-based diet. Plant-based diet means a certain diet which is recommended by Krishna. Grains, fruits, vegetables, milk product. That we should consume. So this is the point. So when we have this tendency, then we will have the compassionate nature. Right? So if someone is actually eating meat and killing animals, they cannot understand God because they don't have compassion. So when you don't have compassion, then how God is going to be compassionate towards you? Right? First of all, be compassionate to yourself, towards other living entity. Compassion toward yourself means give up the nonsense and try to follow the instruction of Krishna. This is compassion to itself. And then to other living entity. Yeah, by not meat eating, by simply servicing, worshipping Krishna, you are pleasing everyone. This is the real compassion. This is the real welfare. Right? So this is the sum and substance of this purport. Right? It is a long topic when we are speaking about Atma. When you speak about charity, compassion, meat eating, it's a very wide topic. So overall, this is the conclusion. Okay. So the conclusion is Krishna is telling you to see in a equal vision that everyone is part and parcel of Krishna. Krishna is the Supreme Father. Right? And we should always see this in every living being. This is the perfect vision. In this way, we can preach, we can be compassionate, and practice Krishna consciousness effectively. This is the vision, right? So, is there any questions? Is there any doubts? I'll stop here. Yes, Arishan Prabhu?
Prabhu, I just want to confirm one question is regarding to the part where discussed, when the body is acting is out of material nature, therefore we cannot say that. We cannot say that the self is acting lah. And if we view it that way, then we actually sees it, right? Like that's what I have understood. But one thing that I want to understand here is you have actually explained about the desire and also the free will that we actually acting upon. So when can we know that the soul is actually acting and the body is, like my question is, how can we identify a soul is acting or the soul never acts?
No, the soul is acting 24 hours. Otherwise, you cannot do anything with your body, right? So the soul is the active particle. Soul is a spiritual spark. It is active. The moment the soul gets out from your body, you are dead. You are called dead, right? So that means the point here is the soul is acting. Okay, that's the first thing you must understand. Okay, so what is the the message given by Krishna in the chapter 13 here is the meaning here is, let me go to the verse. So you must be very clear on these things. It is not that the soul doesn't act and act in a certain time. No, the soul is always active. That is why we are always active. You always want to serve something, do something, think something, because this is the nature of the soul. The soul is an active thing. That is why you cannot we have some bogus meditators. Bogus meditators, the bogus yogis. They will charge you for yoga classes, and you know what they will teach you? What they will teach you? They will teach you that, okay, now you make your mind inactive. Don't think anything. Make your mind empty. This is one of the most bogus thing. Because you cannot make your mind empty. You cannot make your mind empty. Because the nature of the soul is always to be active. It's either you focus on Krishna consciousness or you become, the consciousness of a dog or whatever things your your patience, your sense gratification. That's all, right? So that you must understand. First of all, that is Atma Jnana. The soul is always active. There's no such thing that a soul is not active. Okay? So even when someone is in a coma stage, the soul is active. Only the body is not responding, but the soul is there. Okay? So these you must understand. The soul, the moment the soul is out from the body, that is the meaning of death. The body is useless, and you take another body. Okay. So now let's look into the verse 20. You're speaking about verse number 30, right? Okay. Okay. So you see, the point here is, when actually you understand the difference between the body and soul, and you fully engage in Krishna consciousness, fully, we are speaking about 100% Krishna consciousness. This is the meaning of liberation. This is the meaning of liberation. So when one in a liberated stage, like our acharyas, Srila Prabhupada, all our acharyas, they are all liberated soul. They are not like us. So in that way, they got nothing to do with the body. Even though they might have displaying some tendency of, bodily pain or bodily symptoms, but they are actually nothing to do with the body. They are simply acting in a transcendental platform, right? So this is the meaning. So when you are actually in a liberated state, then you understand that this material is nothing, because when we say you means referring to the spirit soul, the spiritual nature, Satchit Ananda, full of bliss, full of knowledge, right? So this is Satchit. So when we are in that platform, so we are not bothered about the material nature, right? So that is what Krishna is telling. So when you are fully liberated, then you can understand that actually everything is actually liberate, spiritual. There's nothing to do with the material. The material nature cannot touch you. That is why Haridas Thakur, who is Haridas Thakur? Haridas Thakur, he is a Nama Acharya. Nama Acharya means he is the personification of the holy names. When we chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, right? He is the personification of holy name. Nama Acharya. Haridas Thakur got beaten up in the marketplace, Thousands of times he got beaten up. I think any ordinary human being, they cannot take that. They will give up the body. But what happened to him? They beaten him up, throw in the river, sea, and ultimately he act like die, and then he wake up and chant again and go. This is liberated soul, right? We are speaking about Haridas Thakur, we are speaking about our acharyas. Prabhupada, he suffered 3 heart attacks in the boat during the Jaladuta. He suffered multiple heart attacks. So ultimately he doesn't need a bypass surgery. He doesn't need anything. He established 108 temples in New York. All over the world now thousands of temples are there. He established initially 108 temples all over the world, and now thousands of temples are there. So this is the meaning that actually, there's nothing, the material nature is nothing, they cannot touch the liberated soul. That is the meaning. So whatever activity you perform with the body, it is actually all by material nature. So that is for the conditioned soul. So whatever the conditioned soul are doing, they are influenced by the material nature. But the liberated soul, they got nothing to do with the material nature. That you must understand. Okay. And another thing, when the statement here is the self got nothing to do with the material nature, means when you are liberated, it is nothing to do. But when you are conditioned, you are acted, you have your own will, your desire. So you are actually influenced by the material nature, and also you are independent, your own will, right? You want to eat meat. You want to smoke. Are you going to blame that? Oh no, the nature is controlling me. No. Your desire is there. Your minute independence is there. Plus plus your body and material nature. All these are the contributing factors. Is that clear? Yeah. So you must know that all these things are factor: material nature, your body, and also your own free will. These things are the factors. Okay. So it is not that whatever you are doing is nothing to do with you. No. It's always you are the controller. You can control your mind. You can control your body. That is why we are learning Atmanyana, to know that we are the controller of our body, mind. புரியுதுங்களா பிரபு? Yeah, so you're getting the meaning here, right? So the conclusion is very simple. For a liberated person, he is not touched by material nature. Acharyas, Haridas Thakur. So that is what we are aiming for. So when we have 100% Krishna consciousness, we are liberated. That is the meaning of liberation, right? Even in that condition, we are in our control. That means we can also decide to fall down. When we think that, okay, I want to give up and associate with women, I want to fall down and go to the prostitute, you can do that. Vilva Mangal Thakur, Vilva Mangal Thakur, there's an Acharya, Vilva Mangal Thakur. Before he become the greatest devotee of the Lord, he was actually searching for a prostitute. And then the prostitute teach him. The prostitute become his guru. And he learned Krishna consciousness. And then he plucked off his eyes. Because why? Because all this while he wasted the body to see woman. So there is a history on Vilva Mangal Thakur. You can read on that. So like that. So all these are great personalities teaching us that actually we can control our body, mind, senses. And how to control that? By engaging in Krishna consciousness. Right? So always remember, you have the desire, you have the free will. You have the free will. If you desire to do so, then Krishna will help you. This is the point. There's nothing that independent of you. But of course, you must understand you are minute independent. You have to see other factors like Paramatma, mercy of Krishna, mercy of Bhagavan, mercy of Guru. Yeah. And according to your consciousness, you will be going through whether you are attracted to Krishna or attracted to material energy. This depends. You know what I mean? So this is the point. So is it clear, Prabhu? Is it answers your question?
Yes, Prabhu, I understand, Prabhu.
Yes,
Right.
yes. So it is not that like literally that the self does nothing. Is literally that whatever sin you are doing is because of the body and material nature. No, you are responsible. That's why karma is there. You are responsible for what you are doing, right? Okay. Any other question? Okay, clear. Any other questions? Vaishnava Kripa Prabhu, Arasi Mataji, Arshan Prabhu, Karpe Mataji.
I'm okay, Prabhu.
Okay. So yeah, if everything is good, you will. If any question, you can always let me know. You can private message me, or you can private message Patita Taran Prabhu. We can assist you. So thank you very much. So vancha kalpatarobhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavenebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you
Krishna.
very much.
Thank
Prabhu.
you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. You have explained it very well. Thank you.